The film opens with a woman named Ellen playing by the sea with a little girl. However, this scene is revealed to be just a dream as Ellen's eyes open to find herself locked in a room with no memory of her past or how she got there. Suddenly, a speaker in the room instructs her to move a pencil in front of her within a certain time frame. As soon as the timer starts, the room turns red and a countdown appears on a screen in front of her. Ellen manages to move the pencil to the table, and the room returns to normal. She then asks a robot where she is. After the buzzer sounds, Ellen falls unconscious and has a dream where she sees sand by the sea. When she wakes up, she finds that her hands and feet are tied and she is given the same task to move the pencil. A voice threatens to kill her daughter if she does not complete the task. As the timer starts and the room turns red, Ellen realizes that the little girl from her dream is her daughter. She asks where her daughter is, but the voice does not give her an answer. Determined to save her daughter, Ellen breaks the handcuffs on her wrists using her shoes and throws them at the pencil, causing it to fall. The room returns to normal, but Ellen falls unconscious again and has another dream where she sees her daughter singing. When she joins in, she falls asleep singing and wakes up in the strange room once again. This time, her hands and feet are untied and she finds food on the table. As she looks at her reflection in a plate, Ellen wonders what has been done to her and why she has been kept in this room. She asks the voice these questions, but receives no answer. Ellen begins to cry. After crying herself to sleep, Ellen has the same dream of the seaside and wakes up to the same voice instructing her to move the pencil or risk her daughter's life. Ellen demands proof that her daughter is really being held captive, and is allowed to hear her daughter's voice. The timer starts again, and this time there is a glass wall in front of Ellen. She tries but is unable to break the wall. Frustrated and angry, Ellen shouts at the pencil to move, and it falls to the ground on its own. Ellen falls unconscious again and dreams of being with her daughter, who has a head injury and is building a sandcastle. While they are playing, Ellen hears a man's voice from behind her. As Ellen comes to her senses, she finds herself tied to a chair in the same room, with a man standing in front of her. Ellen has the same head injury as in her dream, and the man claims to be her husband, Roger. Ellen is suspicious and thinks the man might be one of the kidnappers who have imprisoned them. She pushes him away, but he insists that he is her husband. Ellen's memories start to return and she tells Roger that they are being held captive by someone who is their daughter and will kill them if they do not do as they are told. The robotic voice interrupts and orders them to move the pencil again. This time, Roger picks up the pencil, but the voice only speaks to Ellen. She is still tied to the chair and wonders how she can complete the task. Roger asks her how she plans to do it, and Ellen reveals that she has done this same task many times before, but in different ways. As they argue, Ellen becomes angry and shouts loudly, causing the pencil to snap in half. Roger is shocked and Ellen starts bleeding from her ears before falling unconscious. In her dream, she sees Roger looking at her angrily. When she wakes up, she finds that food has been left for her and Roger in the room. Roger suggests that Ellen has some sort of special power, citing instances in the past when she became angry and things in the house broke when she shouted. Ellen takes a drink of water and lies on the floor, unresponsive when Roger asks if she remembers anything. When he brings her food, Ellen angrily throws it to the ground, surprising Roger. As she falls asleep again, Ellen dreams of her daughter asking where she keeps going. Ellen promises to stay with her daughter, but the girl disappears as Ellen calls out to her. As Ellen wakes up again, she finds herself tied to a chair that is bolted to the ground. Roger notices the wound on Ellen's head and discovers something embedded there. Ellen hears a voice and is given a new task, to place a ball in a bucket on a table that is also attached to the ground. Roger suggests that Ellen use her special power to lift the table and bring it closer to her. Ellen focuses and is able to lift the table, then uses it to complete the task by placing the ball in the bucket. This time, she does not fall unconscious after completing the task. She remembers that she and Roger had gone to the beach to celebrate their daughter's birthday, and that they have been completing increasingly difficult tasks while being held captive and surviving on strange food. Ellen notices that blood is dripping from her ears after completing particularly challenging tasks, such as building a sand fortress. One day, Ellen is given the task of assembling a gun. She struggles to do it correctly and Roger becomes angry with her. Ellen becomes angry in turn and, without thinking, assembles the gun and unconsciously fires it at Roger. However, the bullet stops in midair before it can hit him. Everything returns to normal and Ellen falls into a dream where her daughter has built a sandcastle and Roger ruins it, apologizing for his mistake. When Ellen wakes up, she and Roger are in the same room, eating together. Roger tells Ellen that she used to be a teacher and he was a singer, but he gave it all up after their daughter was born. They apologize to each other for their argument and Ellen falls asleep again, dreaming of finding Roger's ring and her daughter's shoe in the sand. When she wakes up, she sees Roger standing behind a glass wall, being buried in sand. Ellen is unable to concentrate and thinks about her past memories, so she is unable to complete the task. As a result, Roger is buried in sand and the voice tells Ellen that she did not complete the task. Enraged, Ellen destroys the speaker with a loud shout and a door opens, revealing 3 soldiers. Ellen uses her powers to kill them, then exits the room to find that she has completed 298 tasks. More soldiers appear, but this time Ellen has learned to control her powers and defeats them all. She comes to a room with 3 doors and finds Roger, who has the same face as the other soldiers. Ellen kills them and goes to a room where she hears a robotic voice telling her that her daughter is dead. In a fit of grief, Ellen screams and the device that was erasing her memories is turned off. She remembers that it was her daughter's birthday and they went to the beach together, but Roger and Ellen had an argument and he raised his hand to hit her. In anger, Ellen screamed and the device implanted in her head was activated. Roger and their daughter died, and Ellen realizes that she is responsible for their deaths because of her special powers. The voice tells her that all the tasks she completed were tests to assess her powers and that there is a door in front of her that will erase all her memories when she leaves. Ellen decides to stay and live in the memories of her husband and daughter, and agrees to complete the tasks again. She has the same dreams and wakes up in the same room, but has no memories of what came before. She is given the task of shaking the pencil again and at the end of the movie, it is revealed that the voice belongs to a secret organization that discovered Ellen's powers after she accidentally killed her family. They brought her to this place to help her control her powers and prevent any further harm from occurring in her life.